everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my 30-day Whole 30 diet. First of all, I wanted to say that speaking on my YouTube channel, I always try to bring information that is the most valuable, the most meaningful, and that's really going to help you. I don't want to just put anything out there. What I put out there, I want it to really, come from a place of experience, going through something, and making a big impact and a positive change on your life. So I did this Whole 30 diet, and I will explain why I did it, how I got into it, how I kind of tweaked it to make it even more beneficial for myself, what problems I was facing before I started it, how I fixed them, and overall what it did for me. The first thing I want to talk about is how I got into it, like what pressured me to get into it. Many of you guys might know that I was on the carnivore diet, and I had been on that diet for over 3 months, just carnivore diet. And before that, the reason why I got onto the carnivore diet was because I was on the raw food diet since I was in my early teens. I started getting into the raw food diet, thinking that is the best thing. And as life progresses, we find out why certain things didn't work. Now, I don't want to say that the raw food diet doesn't work. I know it didn't work for me, and I would get a little bit of backlash from some people saying that I'm not doing it right, and you know the story, what they all say. But there is a reason, I think, why the raw food diet didn't work for me, and maybe if you do want to start a raw food diet, you may take that into consideration. And I will get that to later on. But first I want to start with what happened to me. Well, since I got off the carnivore diet, the carnivore diet kind of got me into sneakily eating other things, and it kind of made me crave certain things. Like, I was never a chocolate person, but all of a sudden I craved so much chocolate. I wanted chocolate. I wanted like breads and, not just starches, but like breads basically. And that made me gain weight. And, I had been on the raw food diet for such a long time. I don't really know how to eat otherwise. I don't really know what to eat, because that's what I was really tuned into and figured out how to make it work on the raw food diet. But of course, the raw food diet led me to have a lot of problems with my digestion, and that led to a lot of problems in my whole body, especially ulcerative colitis was the main thing that came up. And because of that, many other things, thyroid problems, so forth. But so I was on this path from stopping the last time I did a video from the carnivore diet, and it really helped me get out of that state from the raw food diet and helped me to overcome ulcerative colitis, because I incorporated other things like pickled juice, natural pickled juice, which has a lot of probiotics, and I mentioned that in the video below before. If you want to check it out, please do that if you're interested in that. So what that caused me is have so much other foods, and I didn't know what to eat. And I got into the point before I started this Whole 30 diet, I was having a lot of pain. For a few days, I had excruciating pain in my jaw, with my nerves, and with my teeth. So everywhere, it started off here, and then basically up here, down here, everywhere. For a few nights, I was agonizing, crying. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was trying different things, trying different remedies, taking different things. And I didn't know what was going on, and I couldn't take it anymore. It was to the point where, I just wanted to knock myself out because I just couldn't take the pain anymore. And I started researching and I found out about the alkaline and the acidic foods. And when your body is in a state of acidosis, basically like your blood is acidic, so it causes things like bone leaching. Your hair and your nails are brittle and you have problems with your gums. So those are just some of the symptoms, and I realized that I had been eating a lot of sugar, a lot of bread, and I believe a lot of these things combination together were causing the acidosis in my body. So what I first did when I first realized this, that I started looking for a diet, and that is how I came across the Whole30 diet. But on top of that, what I did was I realized that some of the foods that are allowed on the Whole30 diet are not exactly, alkaline friendly. So I also narrowed that list down and eliminated a lot of, some of them that are acidic also. I did have a chart of the acidic and the alkaline, and those that are called kind of neutral, that can be acidic or can be alkaline. So the charts are different. The several charts will say different things. So I kind of narrowed it down what they all agree on. And some things that were actually acidic that are on the Whole30 list are avocado oil, some nuts that are allowed on there. Walnuts are acidic forming, and I did actually have some of those on the Whole30. I did have a little bit of pain from my gums and teeth, but when I stopped eating them, then it went away. So I know those were acidic. Also, things like prunes and blueberries are acidic forming. So I did have some prunes because I thought they were going to help me with constipation, because I did actually have constipation on the Whole30. But yeah, it's hard. Okay, I'll get to that. When you cut out the acidic forming foods, you're cutting out a lot of things that produce inflammation, because the acidic forming foods generate inflammation in your body, and from that inflammation you have like fluid retention, you're swollen, and that's where a lot of like the sicknesses and certain things like my pains and all those things come in. The Whole30 diet suggests eliminating things like MSG, carrageenan, and sulfites. And I actually find when I was going through my research of the Whole30 diet, watching all the different kind of videos out there and what people's experiences were, I found that they were, some of them had like tendencies to overeat on dried fruits. I thought that was a problem for me as well, and I had to cut out of raisins. Even though that they are alkaline, I still had to kind of eliminate it, but sometimes I still have them when I'm craving like sweet things. And the sulfites were in vinegar, and some people were using vinegar on their salads and things like that. It was just vinegar, but if you look at the ingredients, it's very important, because basically you cannot have any processed. If you look at the processed foods, most of them have these ingredients, or gums, like gums in almond milks or coconut milks, they have gums, and sulfites are in vinegar. So that's the thing to watch out for. But I don't think the apple cider vinegar has the sulfites, the natural kind, the Bragg's one. But I find that it kind of makes me feel strange, or I don't know, weird. I don't know how to explain. It just doesn't work for me. Sleep. My sleep has significantly gotten a lot better. You know how they say that the second week you're supposed to start feeling more energy, and the third week I didn't feel more energy in the second week. I started feeling a little bit more energy towards the end of the third week, and then the very end of the fourth week, so almost pretty much like yesterday, the day before, and today. Today is actually my 30th day, and it was one of those diets that you can actually do. I think it's like one that I've discovered that is a long-term lifestyle diet because of potatoes. Energy. I had more energy to the point of where I can wake up very early. Naturally, my eyes will open wide and I can't go back to sleep even if I tried. And I wake up early and I have the longest day, and I feel like I can do back-to-back things that I would be tired. And now I don't feel like any hunger at all. I feel like so satiated to the point that I'm in surplus of energy and satiation. And I just think potatoes, because basically that is my main kind of food source that I ate everything around, was potatoes. Boiled potatoes or baked potatoes or slightly fried potatoes in coconut oil, which I use, and I found that very easy and I didn't feel like I got the acidosis from that. And the potatoes, sweet potatoes and Japanese sweet potatoes were so satisfying, especially the next day. They were so creamy and good. So that is just a really nice thing to have. So I recommend Japanese sweet potatoes as well as potatoes. I feel like, because when I was doing my research on this, everybody was saying that, okay, 30 days after, they are going to go back to their diet and they're going to slowly integrate. That's what you're supposed to, slowly integrate other foods and see how you feel. I do not feel like that at all. I do not want to integrate anything. I feel so satisfied. For once in my life, I feel so satisfied. Maybe I've said this before on the carnivore diet, but this is even more than a carnivore diet. The beauty. I think potatoes are the greatest blessing from God to people here on earth because potatoes are so amazing. If you see the nutrition facts of a potato, it's so amazing. It's like basically everything your body needs. I believe it is everything your essential nutrients to keep your body alive. It is even good for your thyroid. It helps your thyroid, which is a major deal for me. And I believe most people out there have problems with their thyroid that they don't even know about or do know. But potatoes are amazing. They are 30% of a potato vitamin C for your daily values. 30% of a potato of vitamin C. So you know that's good for your teeth, for your bones. You need those things to make your bones strong, not just things that they have like the minerals, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and potassium and all those things. And they have even vitamin A and a bunch of B vitamins, vitamin K for your blood, and vitamin E I believe they even have, but they are fat-free. There's no cholesterol in them. There's no cholesterol, but yet cholesterol is used from eggs to convert them into hormones. So cholesterol is good in eggs as well, but they have no cholesterol yet. I do feel that my hormones are feeling much better. I feel like my hormones are better on the potatoes because potatoes help your thyroid, and your thyroid regulates a lot of your other hormones. So amazing. Just a recap of kind of what I was eating on. So at first when I started, I didn't really know how to eat, or I didn't really look at much what people were doing because they were also including meat. And me, I thought I was going to be including meat, but the first few days when I started including potatoes, I found how incredibly satiated I was, and I had no thought completely to want to add any meat. It was like I was repelled from it. I didn't have any desire for meat because potatoes have actually protein in them. They have like 3 grams per potato, which is pretty good. And potatoes are starch resistant. So that means that you can eat the starch, you can get all your satiation and satisfaction and not being hungry anymore on this diet ever. Like, I'm telling you, it's the greatest diet in the whole world. So far, this is the greatest diet I've ever found. So what did I eat? In the morning, first thing in the morning, I had a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice in some hot water. And I even had to do this maybe like 3 cups or something until I would feel the need. Sometimes it would just be 1 cup, but sometimes it would be more. And just to let you know, like, what it's like coming out of a diet that is an acid forming diet, I would say. And then after, I would have a smoothie. I found the smoothie was the greatest help for gas and constipation. If you're having gas and constipation, please give yourself some smoothies every morning before you have anything to eat. I had the lemon water, and then I would have later on the smoothie. And the smoothie, I had a chunk like this of aloe vera, fresh aloe vera, about 2 handfuls of some greens like spinach or kale. Then I had about 2 handfuls of frozen fruits. Go. Frozen mixed fruits. And then I would have a banana, and with that I had a tablespoon of spirulina. And I know that really helped me, like I said, constipation and gas. And after that, kind of for my lunch, breakfast, brunch, lunch, I had a bed of greens with bean sprouts. Bean sprouts are alkaline, so that was already, even though beans are not allowed, but the sprouts are okay. And with a fried plantain and some potatoes. The fried plantain, I used coconut oil, and that was very satisfying and good. I used a lot of salt in this diet. I don't think it really hindered me. I used like the natural salts. And then for supper, I had potatoes with vegetables, steamed vegetables, either baked or boiled potatoes with steamed vegetables, whatever kind I had, broccoli, cauliflower, peas, sweet peas. And also I would do things like cabbage potato soup, which was very satisfying. It gets to the point very quickly. Potatoes fill you up very quickly. I can't say enough of them. I thank God for potatoes. Also, another thing to help with your digestion and kind of end the desire for sweets is teas. The wonder of herbal teas. You don't want to really be having caffeine on this. It's a great way to regenerate, rebuild your adrenals, your own energy, your own sleeping mind cycles. So I recommend teas. After you have your meal, have a herbal tea. The ones that I used were raspberry leaf tea and this ginseng ginger energy tea. Another sweet one is licorice root. Very sweet, and it's nice herbal tea. This one I found on Amazon, which was really amazing. It helps with your kidneys a lot. You really feel better in your kidneys, and if you try it, you'll see it boosts your energy a lot. It's a natural Chinese herbs. Main ingredients are maca powder, cordyceps militaris extract, that's kind of mushroom, Chinese wolfberry, sealwort, raspberry, orthosiphon aristatus. So it's a natural energy tea. It comes like this. Very, very amazing tea. I do recommend if you want to get some on Amazon. I used it for myself and it's really nice. You know, teas are a great thing to play around with when you're wanting to be slim and skinny, because after you have a meal, a lot of people tend to have sweet cravings, as I have. So instead of filling your stomach more, even on fruits, you can have teas, and teas kind of like stop your body from wanting those sweets. And you can really get into the teas and have like all these teas that I said. You can make a thing out of it. You can have your own tray and your tea sets, and you just make it really pretty and exciting thing to do to kind of like make you excited about weight loss and being healthy. Here are two other ones that are, something to be excited about. This one is decaf vanilla nut cream, and it's decaffeinated black teas, vanilla extract, sarsaparilla, natural hazelnut flavor. And then this one is a chai organic fair trade chocolate spices, and in it has like cocoa shells, cinnamon, chicory root, carob. I haven't even tried this one yet, but it's just something, if you are a chocolate fan, really chocolate fan, I thought I would be having this one, but I actually didn't have it. But it's just something to include to get rid of those chocolate cravings and not have to eat it. When I first, okay, so how did I get rid of all that acidosis in my body? Because I was in such pain, I had to do something very drastic to really quickly get my body into the alkaline state. The more your body is in the alkaline state, the more healthier it is. So what I did was I found a recipe online for baking soda and blackstrap molasses. Molasses has very good nutrients. It is very alkalining, and it also has calcium. And that is something that is so beneficial. I believe that I will be taking for the rest of my life is blackstrap molasses, and with that baking soda. And I took about a teaspoon of baking soda with a 2 to 1 teaspoon of blackstrap molasses, and you do this for about 12 days. You don't want to do it too long because baking soda is kind of harsh in itself, so you just want to get your body into that alkaline state. I believe it's good to some point, but you don't want to overdo it on the baking soda. And 12 days is probably enough. It's enough for you to get your body into alkaline state. After that, you can stop. And if you ever feel the need, like months later or a month later, you can take it occasionally again. I did cheat about 3 times, but what I found out from the cheating is how bad my digestion was, how awful I felt when I cheated. It was like my stomach didn't know what was in it. It didn't know how to digest it, and I felt awful. So it just gave me so much more initiative to keep going. I also want to stress that try to cut out the caffeine, and you will begin to see, because of the potatoes, you will begin to see how much energy you have. Like how your adrenals can produce your own energy, how you get into the right cycle of the sleep and everything. If you cut out caffeine, it's so beneficial. In the Whole30 diet, you are allowed to have protein. There was one time when I had some very delicious fish with potatoes, but the next day I woke up kind of swollen and bloated, and not what I would have been if I just ate the potatoes. So after that, I just opt out not to have the protein sources anymore. I just focused on the potatoes, and naturally I didn't even want to eat protein because protein is already in the potatoes, and the starch together and whatever other nutrients there are, I just felt so satisfied. So that was the only time that I ate protein. Or maybe one other time, I think I had some fried egg or something. But that was it. And it doesn't work. Like, it didn't work. I was fine without it. And I recommend not having protein, maybe 1 or twice, okay. But, not make it a daily thing, because the weight loss and the benefits are kind of like less, I experience, than, just the potatoes. It's funny. I come from Poland, and it's kind of funny when women or whoever wants to lose weight, they say, oh, I cut out potatoes, that's the first thing I did, and I lost like 30 pounds or 20 pounds just cutting out potatoes. But you know what, that is such wrong thinking, because they should have cut out other things and left the potatoes, because they are so beneficial. Like, look at history. You have the Irish potato famine. People lived off of potatoes for a long time, and they didn't die, they didn't starve, they were sustained on potatoes. Go online. I went to see on Google, and there's a guy that went a year on just eating potatoes, and he was perfectly fine. His results came out great. How many people have gone on potato fasts and they lost the weight and they're perfectly fine. Like, I believe it is like so far in my life, I believe it is the best food out there. It is the most whole food that you can get, and it's one thing to talk about something and read about something that it's very healthy for you, but it's another thing to experience it in your body. And potatoes are a thing that you actually experience what they say about it and how beneficial they are. You experience it in your body. So don't believe the naysayers and the people that say it's not beneficial, it will make you land in the hospital or whatever. I don't believe that at all, and I will be testing out. My plan for the future is to test that out and go right now, starting on a potato fast, and see the difference between just potatoes and potatoes with vegetables and fruits. As weight loss, I'm sure you're thinking, how much did I lose weight and everything? Well, I wouldn't be honestly doing this video if I didn't get to the point of feeling confident to put myself out there on a video on the YouTube. It's just how girls are. Well, it's just how I am. So I did lose weight. My face slimmed a lot. My stomach was not bloated anymore. And I guess about the 3/4 of the way down from my stomach to the way down is flat, you know, so I still have that little bit of round below the belly button. But from 1 month, 3/4 of my stomach has gotten flat, especially in the morning. I can see my stomach is so flat and lean. I feel more energized, extremely. I feel like I can do things back to back that I would never have done before unless I had drank caffeine or something. I want to talk about weight loss because this is an amazing thing. From all the other diets, if someone goes on a diet, if you could see them on their before and after pictures, they go on a diet and they see we see the before and after. If they had gotten on a diet that is not satiating, like for example the raw food diet or whatever kind of diet that is low in calories, they look gonk, like the starvation kinds of diet, they don't look healthy. The body is gonk. The muscles are a lot leaner. They look not just gonk on their face but on their body. Whereas if you look at the before and after pictures of today, when people go on the potato diet, you see their before and after pictures, and their before, you would think they lost like 20 pounds, but then they say I lost 5 pounds, I only lost 15 pounds, or I lost 7 pounds. You're like, that's all you lost? You look in the picture like you lost 20 pounds, but they say they lost only 5 pounds. And I think that goes to show a lot for the diet itself, because I believe that they do not lose the things that they would have lost on the previous starvation diets. They lose their water weights, they lose their muscle mass, they lose maybe bone mass, they lose a lot of those beneficial things. But in the potato diet, they only lose fat. So I believe that 5 or 7 or 10 pounds that they only lost in 1 month, because that's all you lost, 10 pounds in 1 month on a diet like this, is just fat. Oh, that's not a lot, but think about it. Put your hand out, see on Google how much 1 pound or 1 kilo of fat looks. You'll be like, I lost 7 of these things of pure fat. You're gonna be excited, you know, you're gonna be like, yeah, you know. So you just gotta think about it differently. And the fact that this, I believe, is a very long-term healthy way to lose weight. People are like saying, oh, well, you're gonna get the weight back as soon as, you know, it's not sustainable. Why would you get the weight back unless you start eating unhealthy sugar processed? Everyone is gonna gain the weight back if they do that. If you start incorporating meat, then you'll probably gain the weight back. You'll gain the swollenness, because I think the two together somehow make you get that bloated and start gaining weight again. If you were just eating meat by itself, it wouldn't. If you're eating potatoes by itself, you don't. So just another thing to realize about weight loss. One last thing about potatoes if they are starch resistant. That is a very important thing. So that is everything I wanted to say on this video. I hope you got a lot out of it, because I wouldn't be on here telling you if it wasn't for your benefit, if it wasn't for people that I want to help, because I have been through a lot in my life, and a lot with health and digestion and what works, what doesn't, and it's about feeling good in your own body. I feel sorry for a lot of girls, and I was there. I am there too, where, you know, girls talk about appreciating their body and accepting their body. It's like, I was talking about girls and not giving up on getting the best body that they can get.
Of course.
And not just settling, because sometimes they settle for their own body and they say, I accept my body, I've come to terms with my body. And even know that, you know, they're not exactly skinny, they have some mass on them.
Yeah. But you know, that's like settling for less, and
exactly,
you don't want to settle for less.
You don't want to settle, because I feel like they haven't found the diet that is really going to help them to get to where they want to be. And like this potato diet is amazing, and I think that's how they can really achieve their goals and not have to settle for less and say, I accept my body the way it is, even though it's a wonderful thing to accept your body the way it is.
You just have to keep trying.
Yeah, you have to keep searching and searching. So that's what I've done, and I found this, and I just want to tell, you know, the girls out there that
don't give up.
Don't give up, and try
just
the potato.
Yeah.
The potatoes are wonderful. So yeah.
Potato. Just try one.
So if you have any comments, please leave them down below and let me know what you think. And also subscribe, and if you enjoy these kinds of in-depth talks about diets, about what I've gone through, please let me know. I do have some other things in mind that I would love to share with you guys. And I just hope that you don't take this in any wrong way or anything, because, you know, as human beings, we want the best. We want, you know, we want what is, we wouldn't desire it if it wasn't possible. So I am trying to prove that it is possible in my own self, with experimenting on my own body, and that is what I plan to do. Henceforth, I do plan to try. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. We can only try, right? One day at a time. Say, I'll do it for one day. I'm gonna try just potatoes and see if I can last for one day. I'll go the next day and the next day, and see how long I can go. Thank you so much for watching again. I really do hope that you received something from this, and that my experiences have been a benefit to you, and that you use some of this information for yourself.